Welcome one and all, Nyanko here, and today I'm going to be talking about a very small little show that I found on Netflix called Eden. Not to be confused with Eden Zero. So yeah, basically Eden is just this tiny little show. I think it's like 4 episodes long. That's on, like I said, it's on Netflix. It's about a world of robots, basically, and these two farming robots who pick apples and stuff find this little capsule in their garden that they're tending, and then when they go and they open it, there's a human baby inside, and they're like, what the heck, kind of thing. So yeah, they're gonna go and they're gonna hand in this baby that they find to the security bots, because they've been told that humans are bad, humans are going to kill the planet, and to just if you ever see a human, bring it to them. And this is the only human they have ever encountered in X amount of years. So you're led to believe that humanity is extinct in Eden, basically. But for whatever reason, they kind of end up they malfunction and they end up falling for this little robot. So these little robots end up falling in love with this little baby, and they end up keeping her safe. And then what they do is they break away from where they're working, which is is the garden, and they run off with the baby, and they find other robots like them who have basically been led to believe that humans were extinct. There was no such thing as a human, but they kept going in their search to find humans. And so these two take the baby and start raising her, and she's kind of very rambunctious and very silly and constantly getting hurt because she just doesn't do as she's told. And it's really sweet. Like I said, it's literally 4 episodes long, but it's really good how they have the two. So there's 2 storylines. There's the storyline about how the planet got into such a state that humanity basically killed itself off, and how the robots came to be the main suppliers for the planet. And then there's the storyline of the girl, what's her name? I will figure out her name. So her name is Sarah Grace. Yeah, I've forgotten that. So yeah, basically it's written in the capsule that they find her in. So yeah, basically you've got A33, and you've got what's the other? He's voiced by David Tennant. I know this. So yeah, you've got So you've got A33, who is the female robot, and you've got E29, who is the male robot, and then you've got Sarah Grace, who is the human girl. Then you've got Zero, who is the big bad security dude, and then you've got other characters as well, as you go through. And so like I said, there's the 2 storylines. You've got Sarah Grace looking for other humans because she doesn't believe she can be the last one. And then you've got back in time with the scientists that set up all the Eden projects to help repopulate the damage. No, sorry, not repopulate. Basically, to put humans into stasis and leave the robots to tend to the planet and get it back into a habitable situation so that the humans can come out of stasis. But as you go along, you learn that there's only something like 2,000 spots for the stasis, and people who were already sick with something couldn't go into stasis. And there was a war going on around the world for who would get a place in the in one of the stasis pods. And then, like I said, Sarah Grace comes out of stasis, is raised, and I think she's 15 or something, 16 when the story starts taking place, and she ends up getting found out, and then the security robot Zero is we must kill the human and get rid of the human, they are bad, they will just destroy the planet all over again, kind of thing. So again, as this is happening, you're flashing back and forth between what happened and what led up to this and blah blah blah, and you're actually led to believe through some of it that certain parts of it are taking place at the same time. So you're led to believe that the Doctor is alive in the time that Sarah Grace is alive, and that they're, you know, like their stories are happening like alongside each other, and things unfold and everything like that throughout the series. Like I said, it's 4 episodes long. You can watch it in like an hour and a half. It would have been great as like a little movie, actually. Now, warning, the animation is very 3D and it is a bit clunky in places. I can get past that because I got enthralled with the story. Other people might not be able to get past that, and it can put them off. But yeah, really liked it. The message was quite clear as well in it, like, take care of your bloody planet, people. Very in your face. Like, this, we might not get the chance to do this. We need to prevent our world from going through the same thing that happens in Eden. Because yeah, by the time Sarah Grace comes out, there's clean water, there's trees, there's a beautiful blue sky, whereas you actually see the state of the planet before everyone went into stasis, and you're like, damn, what did we do? This is disgusting. How could we do that to our planet? But it does serve as a warning, but it was just a really sweet little story about like family and love and stuff. So like Sarah Grace ends up falling out with like her mama and her papa, who are the 2 robots, because papa is always like hyper vigilant. Would you not do that? You're gonna hurt yourself, and what if you get captured? And then mama's like, the mama character's like, would you just let her be, you know? You're going to push her away. And then like Sarah Grace is like, you're not my parents, I think at one point, or something like that. And then later on she realizes her mistake, and she nearly loses them forever because of like the security robot gets hold of them and tries to reprogram them, and she's absolutely heartbroken when they stop remembering her. But then later on, I think they do start to remember her again. Yeah, they do actually. Yeah, they get their memories back because they managed to save them. And then it does end with them reviving humanity. And then, because you're led to believe that there was spots, so you're led to believe that it's going to be different people coming out of it. You know, you're going to have adults, you're going to have the elderly, you're going to have people with certain skill sets and stuff who have all been like vying through the lottery to get a spot in the things. And then you think that the reason why like Sarah Grace is there is because someone's spot, they decided to give their baby the spot instead of them. And it ends in a really nice way, actually, with a fresh start. And I don't know if this is spoilers if you want to watch this or not, but it ends with all of the pods opening up and it's all babies. There's not a single adult in one of those pods. Like, the only pod that had an adult in it was the doctor dude, as far as we're led to believe anyway, because he needed to come out of stasis and then maintain the system because he built the system, so they let him stay. But then it seems to be implied that instead of, the lottery ended up being just for people's children, not for them. But I really would like to see like a season 2 of it, to see how they handle all of the kids, like if it is all children, because like we don't see everybody. We only see Sarah Grace pick up a baby, and then it's kind of implied that the rest of them are children. But it would be quite interesting to see Sarah Grace handle dealing with 2,000 children. Because in that sense, she'll never get to grow up and marry anybody in that sense. But I mean, it could go really, really cringe with age different stuff, so I'm not sure on that. And as well, how this is an entirely new world. The robots will be bringing up the children as well, and there's a premise for a season 2, definitely. And I would love to see a season 2, actually, just to see how like Sarah Grace progresses and how all the other characters progress onwards and stuff. And see what happens to the world once humans have been revived, and whether or not Sarah's warning about humans will destroy the planet again happens, or if they'll learn from history's mistakes. So yeah, no, season 2, if Netflix will commission it for a season 2, is to be seen. It's doubtful, because I don't think many people have seen it, and I don't think many people are talking about it. I mean, I only just came across it by happenstance when I was like flicking through Netflix one night, and I was like, da, 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 and then I was like, red hair, and I went back and I watched the preview, and I was like, I'm going to give that a go. But there wasn't a lot of advertising for it. I haven't heard anyone else talk about it. So the fact of it getting a season 2 would be interesting, to say the least. Highly unlikely, I'm guessing, for a season 2 to happen. But you never know. I could be proven wrong. Netflix it might be a hidden gem that more people are like sat on and they've watched it and they didn't think to talk about it. Or, it could just be that it flopped and nobody liked the animation style, so they just skipped over it, and it's going to stick in Netflix prison of one series only. But no, I would highly recommend giving it a go. If you can try and get past the animation style, I would seriously say do, and just try and focus on the story and don't look at the very CG-ness. But the voice acting was very good in it as well. Like I said, there was David Tennant, there was Neil Patrick Harris. Don't think I know anyone else in the cast, but those two for me were like, oh yes, I'll watch that. When I heard Tennant's voice, I was like, yeah, I'm down. But no, I'm hoping there'll be a season 2, just because I think there's so much more that they could do with the world. It would be great to see. But if there doesn't, it leaves it in quite a nice place anyway, where you've rounded off a couple of storylines, and Sarah Grace got her wish of not being the only human and finding more like her. So if it stays at just 4 episodes, I'll be fine. I will be content. If I get more, I will be ecstatic. But yeah, it was really sweet. It was a nice story. Whiled away an hour and a half one evening quite happily, watching it and getting enthralled in the world. So yeah, do give it a watch if you can. Eden, it's on Netflix. You can finish it in an hour and 20. And if you skip the opening and the endings, it's probably about an hour and 10. So less than a movie. So yeah, let me know down below if you've seen Eden, or if you go and watch it because of what I've suggested. Yeah, do please let me know. I'd love to hear back if people are actually enjoying my recommendations or not. But other than that, my kittens, much love. Remember, eat something, drink something, and don't forget your medication if you're on any. And I will see you in the next ones, my lovelies. Hasta luego!